For
But
sure
you know
you
what?
knew what time it was.
I never do. I never know what time it is. Okay. Okay, we're live now. Welcome, everybody. But yeah, so those are going to be the two I draw today.
I see.
Yep. I like how every time we've done, like, the OC stream, I haven't finished the artwork for it. Although, I think for part one, I'm going to redo it because I think I found a pose I really like for those two particular characters.
Mm.
And then the second one is just I haven't finished the background. I haven't added details or anything to the two characters, and I might never do it. But yep, today we're doing.
They'll just be detailless forever.
I mean, they'll have their color. They just won't have shadows and highlights. Yeah, but it's gonna be like, I don't know if you noticed with the Millennium Falcon mock artwork I did. It's also not cel shaded. It's just basic color.
How long ago was that?
Like 2 or 3 years. I think it's been a long time. But it
You're asking me to remember something from 2 or 3 years ago that I probably haven't looked at in a very long time.
And I can send it to you. I'll have to send it through
you will have to send it to me. Yeah.
The chat log, because if I get out of chat, then nobody will be able to hear you, and I don't think they appreciate that very much. So we're gonna go through. Is it gonna be in this one, or is it gonna be in live stream? Let's see. Probably in this one.
Jeez, everyone, I cannot stop yawning.
Well, get more sleep. Damn.
So that's so. I had my consult with the sleep study.
Yeah.
And I'm going in on Monday afternoon to pick up this device that I'm going to have to strap to myself and sleep with on Monday night. And it's supposed to, it's basically going to be a strap around my chest and then a sensor on my face. And then it sounds like maybe an O2 sensor on one of my fingers. And it's going to collect a whole bunch of data, and then I have to take it back the following morning. And they have to, per my health insurance, they have to rule out sleep apnea before I can discuss further. So I have to do this first.
Oh. Okay, I mean, I guess they want to like be thorough and make sure that you don't have sleep apnea as a.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I don't have sleep apnea, so it is annoying me a little bit, but whatever, it's fine. Oh, yeah. Maybe it'll uncover something useful.
So, my dumbass is like sitting here scrolling through to find this art piece.
Jermaine!
Hello.
Hello. I was so lonely. You went away.
Oh, we disconnected. That's why. But it says we're back up, so.
Okay.
As far as I know, we're back up anyway. There it is. Okay. So it was from 22-23.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Definitely not going to remember from that far back.
Created March 18th, 2023. That was literally just the other day, so it literally was 2 years ago. Anyway.
Just the other day. It was almost exactly 2 years ago.
Now I gotta look for the action. Oh, there it is. Wow. It was right there. First. That one. That one's not cel shaded.
Where did you send it?
I sent it in the chat logs. Don't worry, everybody. I promise we'll start stream in a minute.
Oh, so I guess I never paid attention to what else was around the characters. I know there's just so much going on.
Yeah, because the more you look at it, the more that shit pops out at you. Even I do that. I'll be looking at it like, when the fuck did I draw that? Anyway, shall we start stream today?
Yep.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the panel protagonists. I'm Melly.
I'm Jessie.
And today we will be talking about our last installment of How Fleshed Out is Your Original Character? The questionnaire in which we build our original characters from to see how much you know about your original characters. Ooh. So,
Yerp.
I got my pose ready. I'm so happy I got my pose ready. But I was gonna say something. Give me a second. Yeah, we were gonna do this last time, but then Jesse counted off all of the questions, and I felt like it would be another 45 minutes to an hour of stream time, and I didn't think anybody wanted to wait for 2 hours to watch stream. So here we are again with our last installment of How Fleshed Out Is Your OC. Jesse, is there breaking news today?
There sure is.
Oh man, so I'm gonna hand it over to Jesse for Jesse's breaking news.
Okie dokie. So, just a fun little tidbit for the sports-minded individuals among us. I found this yesterday and I thought it was fun. So I wanted to share it with anyone who might be in a March Madness pool at your office, or you made a bracket in your own free time. According to some stats that I found on Friday morning when I was bored because there was nothing happening at the office, 99% of y'all got really PO'd on Thursday night because everyone's bracket was busted with game one, which doesn't happen a lot, I don't think. I mean, I've never made a March Madness bracket. It's college basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so in March, the run-up to hockey playoffs and the beginning of NCAA basketball happens at the same time. And the basketball one is called March Madness. I don't know how you don't know this.
I don't pay attention to basketball, or sports.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to get away from. Anyway, fun little statistic.
I don't have news.
Yeah, but it's been around forever.
Yeah, okay.
But
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I thought it was fun little statistic. 99% of people got ruined on night one.
That's funny.
Okay, moving on to some Nintendo stuffs. I just wanted to... nope, this is just a little reminder.
Oh.
The Nintendo Switch Direct is next... Nope. Not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that. Let me double check and make sure. No, Wednesday. So it's the 2nd, April 2nd. So not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. At 6 a.m. in the morning, if you are on the Pacific Coast in the U.S. On their YouTube channel. Super early. I know. Well, I mean, they are broadcasting from Japan, so it's like 3 in the afternoon when they broadcast.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. So, anyway, I have no idea what this is going to entail. I'm done trying to... I'm done trying to play the speculation game at this point. We're getting it in late May, early June, no matter what I think. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait. And come what may, I suppose. So yeah, just a little reminder. April 2nd, 6 in the morning, or 9 a.m. Eastern time, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Okay. And then I have to backtrack something I said from our ARC revisit stream from a couple of weeks ago. I had said, it feels like it, doesn't it? I had said that we hadn't heard anything from the folks behind the game for quite some time, and that was correct up until the 18th, which I think was last Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And Studio Wildcard has announced this kind of odd expansion for Survival Ascended. It's not a new map like you and I are accustomed to for, generalized Arc Edition stuff.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
It's a legit expansion, but it adds stuff that just doesn't feel Arc.
Oh.
If you know what I mean. There's a trailer out there right now. You can go watch it. The expansion is called Lost Colony. They made an animated trailer, which in my opinion does not fit with the vision of what I think the gameplay is.
That's
and
always a great feeling.
I know. And so they use the same animators that made the anime for Arc.
Okay. I mean,
and it's supposed to lead into Arc 2. But
okay,
how this is supposed to lead into Arc 2, I'm a little unclear on. I'm not going to play it. So yeah. I'm never going to know unless somebody tells me.
I'm probably just going to, honestly, if I'm being really honest right now, I'm probably only going to stick with the old game, Evolve. It just, I don't know. I feel like they just kind of went downhill after everything.
Yep. Anyway, it has now been spoken. They are still working on the game. They're going to add this expansion. We're not getting any more anime, at least for now. And gameplay progress is being made on Arc 2. They didn't say anything about release for Arc 2, not even a window, not even a suggestion of a window.
That's because they're too busy, like, enjoying the profits they're making from Ascended.
I don't know what it is. I'm sure they are. And I'm sure they made something off the anime, too. But I'm sure that both of those projects were meant to fundraise for more, for further development on Arc 2.
Supposed to bridge the gap between Extinction and Genesis, right? Are we talking about Arc 2? I have no idea.
Lindsay, are you talking about the expansion? If you're talking about Lost Colony, it might. I don't honestly know. It looks very alien.
Compared to Arc's already alien-like.
Yes, honestly, you have to go watch the trailer because the things that are in that trailer, the living creatures do not resemble dinosaurs anymore.
That does actually sound more Extinction though than it does anything else. So does it look like they're, trying to make it look like whatever they called it, the dark alpha dinosaurs or anything like that?
The one thing in the trailer kind of resembles an Australopithecus if an Australopithecus had evolved on Mars.
Okay.
That's how I would describe it.
Okay.
So, yeah. If you're interested at all, go watch the trailer, see what you think. It's called The Lost Colony.
But I feel like I'm going to be disappointed.
You might. Anyway. Last bit of business, and then we'll get on to today's topic. Finally. Minecraft Live happened.
Oh.
And I forgot. So, sorry to everyone who was expecting me to post in the Panel Protagonist Discord server. I will do it later. But I wanted to just get some updates out during stream, and then I will post all of the updates piecemeal after the fact. It was really short this year. It was only about 27 minutes. And they announced some pretty cool things. So I'll just touch on the big ones. First of all, if you've been paying attention to sort of the drip fed the drip fed updates that have been making their way into the Java version, you've probably noticed that there's been some updates to passive mobs, so cows, chickens, pigs. Those have all received new variants according to their biome. And then I want to say just last month, maybe even earlier this month, we got some new plant types. We got a bush and a firefly bush. The fireflies have finally made it, although not in the same way that Moying wanted to add them in the first place, but they're here. So the two things that they really announced today was the overhaul for there's a graphical update coming. Oh. It's called Vibrant Visuals. It's going to launch in a couple of days. It's like Tuesday. It doesn't, significantly update how Minecraft looks. It's still going to be blocky. But if you have been playing with mods that add, like deeper shadows, and they update the water texture, or they do things to shadows in the sun and all that kind of fun stuff. Vibrant Visuals is going to do a lot, but not all of that.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the other thing that they announced was, and I haven't decided how I feel about this yet, but they are making a friendly version of the Ghast. And yes, it's called the Happy Ghast. You are going to find it as basically as a sponge in the Nether. Those bone structures, those big old bone things that you find in like soul sand valleys?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's going to be a block inside of those structures with a frowny face on it. And I'm not even joking. This is like the silliest thing I think they've done in a long time. You pick up the block with a frowny face on it, you take it to the overworld, and you dunk it in water, and you leave it there. And then after so many ticks, it's going to turn into a ghastling, which is a baby ghast. And then the ghastling is going to grow up into a happy ghast that, and here's the part where up until now I hated it, and then you're going to love it. You can put a saddle on the happy ghast and fly around on it.
Wow. That's
You can fit 4 people on the happy ghast, by the way.
Oh my god. Game of the year.
So yeah, that's all coming. No time frame for the second bit. So that's probably going to be a late 2025 thing, but probably. We'll get the rest of it in 3 days.
Lovely. Okay, well.
Happy ghast. It makes a weird sound too. I don't like the sound it makes. It's not a ghast sound. And I guess it doesn't need to be a ghast sound, but it's still, I don't like it.
I mean, I'm telling you, Minecraft's a horror now. It's gotta be.
Anyway.
That's for a stream for later.
We're on to our final category.
My God, we're still talking about the breaking news?
Look, no. We're on to stream now.
You just said our
And we
Oh.
yeah,
I
the
got
final
it.
category for
Oh, I got it. I'm going
Okay,
a
you
little
ready?
slow.
You ready to be perhaps slightly insulted by some of these questions?
Maybe. Depends on what you're insulting.
The final category of how fleshed out is your OC is main character syndrome.
Okay.
Does your character have main character syndrome? Question 1.
Oh, man.
Does your
We're
character
ready.
ever get injured?
Oh my God, all the time.
Okay.
I like my drama.
Yes.
I like my fucking drama.
Yes, although I will say, Aaron, you know what main character syndrome is. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, but if you don't know what I mean, it will become really obvious to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I built this last segment with one of my characters specifically in mind.
Yeah.
Because she has real bad main character syndrome.
Oh.
Yep. Okay, we all said yes. We all agree we're not afraid to maim our main characters.
Oh, hell no, we're not.
Question 2. Would you kill your original character if it made sense for the story, or are they protected by plot armor? And then if your answer is yes, have you done it?
So I've only done it with one character in my entire life. And I will say that they are, my character Althea and Amara are both protected by plot armor, except that Althea does eventually die from causes.
Causes.
It's
Causes that
complicated.
don't
It
have
would-
to be told
I would
right
have
now.
to dive into a whole other subject on why on this specific cause, but it's considered natural for her people.
Ah, okay.
So she does eventually die, and it will be written in a different story I'm writing.
Okay, got it. So, for the two characters that I have been talking about for this entire writing exercise, one of them is, I'm gonna say, mostly protected by plot armor.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I would kill her. Probably. The other one,
probably.
The other one eventually dies of old age. That's just how I've written the end of her story.
Okay.
Because I can't figure out what to do with the rest of it. But the third character that I specifically had in mind when I made this segment, I have brutally murdered, and there's a part B to this question.
Oh,
is if you have done it, has that character ever come back from the dead?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. It wasn't my character, it was Whitney's character. I killed off Whitney's character before. She got revived almost immediately, but I have killed off Whitney's character. I have also been threatened to have my characters killed off by Whitney, so...
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Especially when I wanted to kill off one of... Okay, sidetrack story. So Althea has a wyvern partner that she quote-unquote tamed through a ritual on the planet, right? And I wanted to kill the wyvern off. And Whitney threatened me. Like, legitimately threatened me and would have, like, ended my whole main character storyline. And I was like, okay, I will kill off the wyvern. Oh my god. Yeah.
So, the character that I had in mind when I was writing this is my Naruto OC.
Yeah,
and
okay. I was thinking
she's
it was that one.
she's the character that I burned to death at the end of the original running of
Jesus
Naruto.
Christ.
But then when Boruto came up, I brought her back to life, but in like a disgusting, agonizing way. So
Yeah.
yes, I did bring her back to life, but
What was the
not in a
cost?
not in a
What was
great
the
way.
cost? And then there's Aaron who vaporized hers in the store. One of her storylines.
that was one of her Dragon Age characters.
I believe it.
Yeah. Okay, question 3. Would you irreversibly injure your original
Okay.
character? And if yes, have you done it before?
Okay, here we go. So Althea is a healer, but if she can't reach the injury with her hands, she can't heal. And if she's not somewhere where the force is super concentrated and it's like actively touching areas she can't reach with her hands, she can't heal. So, pretty much anywhere on her back where she receives a gigantic scar from someone of her own race and she can't heal, and it gives her like mobility problems. It's not very obvious because she trains through it. She goes through physical therapy, but when it happens, the start of it, she can't really move much. It's such a great little arc that she goes through to get that far. It's great. It's great. And then Whitney just loves scarring her characters. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Aaron, no one said you had to participate.
So I'm
You're,
like, okay,
you're
Aaron.
doing this to yourself.
I just want to throw out there that when I write my stories, if I'm ever going to publish them, which I'm not, because this is a hobby of mine, not work. But if I were to ever publish any of the stories, I'd have to have a half page of trigger warnings because of how dark and cruel I am with my characters. I don't think you can imagine. Whitney's even worse. So it's great.
Yes, I have also irreversibly injured my original characters. This Naruto OC is blind and she can't walk. It works so well for a ninja.
I mean, you got your other ed senses. You don't need.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Other
And
shit.
I'm gonna tell you something about those other senses in a couple of questions here. Next question. Is your OC the strongest character of your story?
Okay, I really have
Yes.
problems with this one because I try not to. That's why I add flaws to a lot of the powers that my characters have. And in my Star Wars story, she is not the strongest character. There's always someone stronger than her, but she's definitely the most tenacious. And if I was gonna go even further than Whitney, and if Whitney and I were together, then of course our characters are the strongest. We're the most badass. I'm not even gonna lie about that one. But Amara, I wouldn't say she's the strongest. She's just got a lot more wit and intelligence on how to use what she has. And because of that, she's developed new skills, but it doesn't make it stronger. And in fact, it kind of hinders her depending on the environment she's in. So, Amara's definitely not the strongest. She just looks like it because of how well she can adapt to situations.
Okay.
But I also like injure the fuck out of her a lot, so.
The answer to literally every OC that I ever make is yes.
Okay, it is hard not to, though, to be fair.
It is really hard.
It's really hard not to. Especially if you're like, damn, I need a strong, like, original character in my life. Because I just need it for whatever, you know? It's hard not to just, like, self-insert as the strongest person, you know? I mean,
Aaron,
it's
it's strongest would be defined by however you want it to be defined as it pertains to your canon, your story.
I was thinking, like, when you asked that question, I was thinking physical strength and wit as together, not as separate entities, and how well they can defeat their enemies and how quickly they can defeat their enemies. Which is why Althea would be classified as quote unquote the strongest, because she can do all that. But Amara has a bit of a harder time with all of that, so technically speaking, I would not call her the strongest.
Or for your character, it could be, are they the strongest mage, or do they have the strongest build up to lyrium, or are they the strongest, I don't know. I'm trying to think of Dragon Agey things.
You could even, like, how fast and quick can your character take down a dragon versus like other characters, you know what I mean? Like, are they super quick to know the weaknesses of the dragon? Are they super quick on like executing their abilities in order to
Are they invulnerable
weakness?
to Darkspawn?
Yeah. are they immune to red lyrium? Like
Okay. Very similar question as the previous one. Is your original character unreasonably talented?
Unreasonably? Okay, so
Yes.
I'm gonna give you this prompt, and I want you to tell me. Althea is 2,300 years old. It took her 1,000 years before she left her planet, and then it took like a couple hundred years after that for her to master manipulating the elements.
Okay.
Before that, she couldn't fight. It wasn't until someone taught her how to fight that she was able to actually fight. She's given the bow as a means of self-defense because her class is a sage class. It's the healer and the defense class. It's supposed to be more of a pacifist class. But, so, she's 2,300 years old. I would say no, because she's had all that time to master the things she has.
Mm-hmm.
Amara, on the other hand, is extremely talented. I'm not even, because she's an ecologist, developed new skills. Like, she's definitely talented.
All of my characters are prodigies. So, again, the answer is yes to every single one of the characters I have ever made. Oh, no, that's not true. Except for one who, like yours, is positively ancient.
So she has.
So she's had a lot of time.
They've had a lot of time to like develop their skills and shit. I think if they're ageless, if they've got a lot of age to them, and then you start off your story with them having all of these skills and talents, I don't think that really counts because they've had time to develop those skills and master them. But if they're like Amara, who's 33 or 32, and she's like, a master of manipulating the elements without casting, that's fucking talent.
She is the avatar.
She is the avatar.
All right, next. Does your OC constantly get saved from disaster?
It's a little bit of both from both characters, because when I write some of my stories, I'm going for the romance aspect as well, but I also like my girls to have badass talents, so it's a little mix of both. It depends on the situation. Like, Althea has been in a couple of situations where even though she's got the skills and the power, she still needed help from her love interest or from her group of friends to like get out of a situation. Amara is also up in the air because she's helped people get out of situations after being caught in said situations, but she also has situations she needs help from either her love interest or from her group of friends.
Okay.
I think it depends for me.
So for the character that I had in mind when I was making this segment, she does a couple of times, but not like always. Because about half the time she's the one causing the disaster in the first place, which is a problem. And the other half of the time, almost the other half of the time, she's the one doing the saving, which leads me into the next question. Does your OC always save everyone, or do they let others help?
Amara and Althea are like, they're self-sacrificing. A lot of my characters are self-sacrificing. So, yes, in a way, but they also need help too. So they hate it, but they also need the help. I don't know.
So
Yes.
my Naruto OC is like I said, she's the one doing the saving. If she has to have help, it's forced upon her. She hates it. But the other two characters that I've been talking about this whole time, they, one asks for help because she's just well-rounded. She doesn't. My Lord of the Rings character does not have a problem asking for help. And I don't know how my Stardew Valley character would. I mean, I guess she would learn. She would probably hate it at first. But I think she would learn. Just because canonically that's what you're supposed to do in the game, so I guess. I don't know, I haven't thought about that for her. Okay, next question. Does literally everyone know who your original character is?
So Amara is very famous, especially after she starts developing the research that has assassins coming after her. And she's gone into hiding, but she's still recognized by people. Althea, on the other hand, is not. She's recognized by few, but not necessarily by name so much as the deeds she's done. The only planet she's actually well regarded and they know her very well is the planet she's lived on for centuries, where she's tamed her wyvern. And she's called the Guardian of the North because she fought back the pirates on the Northern Islands. And it's her title and her presence that keep the pirates from continuously going to the Northern Islands. So yeah, on that planet she is, but everywhere else in the galaxy, nah.
My Lord of the Rings character is only kinda known, like in certain circles.
It makes sense.
But
she's elf, right?
She's half elf.
Okay. Even better, because then even the elves don't really want to recognize her as their own kid.
Yeah, but she's also really well. Excuse me.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. She's also really well traveled. So, I've kind of, given her a reason for her name just to be out there, kind of in a similar way to Strider before he was Aragorn. People knew who he was without necessarily knowing who he was.
Okay.
So yes, for her. Absolutely not for my Stardew Valley character. That's how she wants it. No one knows who she is. And then everyone on the face of the planet seemingly knows who my Naruto OC is, and it goes the other way. Also, she knows who everyone is. She's up in everybody's business. And that's why I'm saying she's got hard main character syndrome. I'm really proud of her, but also, I gave her a lot of problems.
I also feel like we're talking about this. I want to iterate for everyone in chat that unless you're writing an actual book, most of the time main character syndrome isn't a big deal, I feel like. And if you
or if you're
with other people, then there's a you have this unspoken rule that you're both badasses and you both have main character syndrome.
I feel like main character syndrome is also a problem in television.
Oh yeah.
Not all the time, but you know that you have watched a show where you're just like, no one dies, there are no consequences for anything. How come?
Mhm.
It's this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because everyone is protected and no one, the people writing are too afraid to um, kill anyone, hurt anyone, lose
Yeah,
any of their characters. Um,
which is
so
like,
anyone who is struck with main character syndrome is
I,
never going to grow, expand.
yeah, and it's like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me who feels this way, but not all main character syndrome means that your character is bad in um, character development. It just, it depends on like how far it goes and how much of it is there.
Oh yeah, there's definitely degrees of main character syndrome.
I feel like if you have some main character syndrome in your characters, that's fine. I still feel like you could still have a great character and they could still have great development, even in like books and television. But it's more of a like, you don't want your character to be completely so OP that they just wipe everything out and they no one, like you said, no one dies, no one gets hurt because they're so self-sacrificing. And we call those Mary Sue's. um, but there's definitely degrees. That's why I like to add more flaws to my characters to give them a little bit more of a realistic feel to them. Like Althea has severe PTSD, and her PTSD has never been resolved or addressed because she didn't get help. She didn't feel like she could get help. She was on the run for almost 800 years. So she didn't feel like she deserved it. So after a while, it just kept getting worse and worse, and it impedes on a lot of her missions when she's finally with her group of friends. So there's definitely degrees. Like she's I would consider her the strongest character alongside of Whitney's character, but I mean, your strength can only go so far when your mind is so dark. Like, one of the things I like about Althea is that she was a slave, and when she was rescued from slavery, she was hell bent on revenge against every slave facility she could find, and she was extremely skilled in taking down facilities, which is also ties into the whole strongest character thing. But because of, but it's not really something that her class, her people, and her faith would encourage or even say this was okay. Because it's not. It's revenge. It's dipping into the dark side of the force. And she teeters so much on the dark side when it comes to the slave facilities. And I've had a couple of instances where she actually fell for a moment or two. And that's how Whitney's character died, by the way. Uh, so, yeah.
I mean, to your point, every main character is going to have some of these because A, they are the main character. That's the whole
Mm-hmm.
point. But B, you have to um, still make your main characters interesting.
Yeah.
And how are you going to avoid all of this and still make them interesting? Um, so you're right. They're going to always have some of this, but it's just to the degree that they have the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
That's
Okay.
that's why I think it's like not a big deal if your character has some, as long as it's not like so completely overwhelming that when you read your character, you don't want people to be like, "Oh God, this character has main character syndrome. They can do no wrong. They're the strongest. They're talented. Whatever." You don't want that when people read your stories, you know.
Yeah.
Or in television, even though I'm watching an anime right now that's completely main character syndrome right now.
Oh, anime has it the worst.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Manga too.
Well, yeah, I mean, related.
Yep.
All right, next question. Does your original character become the leader or ruler of your home country, city,
Absolutely not.
whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely not. In fact,
Me
Althea
neither.
left her planet because they were like, "Oh, you're gonna follow in the Great Sage's footsteps, and you're gonna be the next Great Sage on the High Council." And she's like, "Fuck that!" And
None of my characters have any leadership aspirations whatsoever. One character I made becomes the head of her family, and that's the closest thing I get. That's it. Yes, I know your Inquisitor doesn't really count because she's just the head of the Inquisition in kind of a shitty leadership role anyway. So,
yeah, that's interesting in of itself, honestly.
yeah.
Because when you're forced into something like that because of the extenuating circumstances of war and or like a common enemy or whatever. So I find that doesn't count on a couple of different levels because of the whole, um, you know, well, we need
It's
to
a
have
you're
like
good enough.
a
Yep. You'll do.
You'll do.
Lead my Inquisition.
Now in video games, that's a completely different story, mainly because of storyline, but also because I'm like, that's right, we're gonna burn him at the stake.
Okay. Does your original character get away with things regular citizens would be arrested for because of who they are? And I have several sub-questions on this one. This is the last question, by the way.
Oh, well, Althea, absolutely 100% no. She's just a no. I mean, I guess with her friends group, then maybe. She's killed a lot of people in slave facilities without any remorse, and the story Whitney and I are on, her character is actually kind of sort of judging Althea about it until she learns about her past, and then she's like, oh shit, okay, maybe not. So I guess in a way, yes, with her friends group she is, but if it was anybody else, no, absolutely not. And Amara, well, she's being trailed down right now because of quote unquote illegal shit that she hasn't even committed. So she is also 100% no.
Okay. My Naruto original character, absolutely yes. She could probably murder someone in the street and not have much of a way of repercussions. My Lord of the Rings character would really depend on where she is and what she's done. Because I tend to stray as little from Tolkien canon as possible. And so she, aside from some anger issues, she tends to not be someone who would have a lot of transgressions to their name. But also she's just a fairly well-liked person. So I don't think she would do anything anyway. My Stardew Valley character, on the other hand, I feel like she would try. And then because of the way that Stardew Valley works, people would just dislike her for it. But there's no, like, other than the mayor being aghast at whatever it is she's done, or having some sort of detriment to her relationships, nothing would happen outside of the manufactured bad guys that I have inserted into her story. Now, the sub-questions for this are, if yes, can you name anything specific that your character has done already?
Well,
that they might have been arrested
with.
for. Or gotten away with, yeah.
Oh, well, Amara is currently on a track to being killed because of her research and because she refuses to give them her research because of their, like, very war-hungry tendencies, and because she knows if she gives her research away, it could turn the tides of any war. So she's definitely she's just on the run. And then Althea,
Her research is a thing that a regular citizen would be arrested for?
I guess the research itself wouldn't be like a regular citizen, but if she did anything else, she would be arrested. Because,
Okay.
you know, unless they're actively at a war and she's killing the enemy, that's the only thing she wouldn't get arrested for.
Okay.
She'd get in trouble for stealing an apple. If you guys know, you know.
Also, if yes, is your OC law enforcement?
My OCs are not.
We know where Aaron's character stands.
None of my characters are law enforcement, and they don't pretend to be. Althea has very passionate views, but she doesn't, and I guess enforce said views.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Naruto OC that I've made, she has barged in on a number of interrogations that she was not supposed to be there for. And, shall we say,
the church
roughed up some criminals who were being interrogated. But also, I mean, I guess she's technically not law enforcement because there is such a thing as law enforcement separate from the ninja in Naruto, which makes it extra confusing. But I think they're only supposed to be law enforcement for regular non-ninja folks. So I don't know exactly how to classify that one, but she's the only one that would try any funny business.
Any funny business.
Yeah. And yes, she's a problem. The last sub-question is, if your answer to the original question was no, have they been disciplined for their misdeeds before?
I'm going to revert to the original character I'm drawing right now, Opal. She would not be punished for any crime she made because people would have to have the courage to actually stand up to her. And with how brutal and merciless she is. No. But to be fair, it is also an apocalypse. There's zombies running around, but she's killed so many live people. I don't think anybody would punish her unless she killed somebody from within the group she's in right now. And then maybe they all got the courage to stand up to her. But yeah,
so my Naruto OC has been incarcerated twice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
One time was as a young teenager, and she had run away to, I don't know how much you know about Naruto, but she had ran to the Akatsuki.
Oh. Okay.
And that's a no-no.
Oh.
So that she came back home and they caught her. And for a time she was in ninja jail, if you want to call it that. And then the second time was immediately prior to the events that ended the original Shippuden. So just prior to the last arc of Naruto. She was in a big old crystal dome because her her specific, I don't even know what to call it, power, requires her to have access to sunlight. So her cell was on the top of a tower, very much like a princess,
Dear Lord. Okay.
inside of
No
a big old
judgment. No
crystal
judgment.
dome.
No judgment.
But it was so that it was supposed to be unbreakable, but she still had access to sunlight. Yeah. And she was there for a while. A while before
Damn.
they decided, yeah, no, actually, we need you. We're gonna let you out.
Yeah, so this is the keys to your freedom.
Well, the only way out was a hatch in the bottom, like in the floor. Like a pirate hatch.
Okay. That's okay. This is
Yeah.
fine. This is fine.
In my head, it worked out fine.
I mean, that's usually how it goes, right? It's in your head, and
Yep.
then you just make adjustments.
Yep. So she's the only character that's been, I'm gonna say, punished for anything that she's done. I'm sure my Stardew Valley character would be punished, but not from any of the canonical Stardew Valley characters. She'd be more punished from somebody that I create as a secondary
Dun, dun, dun.
character. Because I mean, who's gonna be there in Stardew Valley to punish the player?
True that.
I can't think of anyone. They're all too nice, except for maybe like Sam's dad,
Oh yeah, I can't.
the army guy.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the only prison.
Oh.
Okay. Well, after what's probably like 6.5 hours, we're finally at the end of our original character writing exercise. Hooray!
Wow, it was. I feel like my life flashed before my eyes for a lot of this.
But clearly it didn't, because you participated, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. I mean, we're talking about my original characters. I thought I was gonna be more self-conscious about this, and then I wasn't. And it's probably why Whitney hasn't returned since the first time we've done this.
It was fun, though. I liked it. It was fun
nice
making
exercise.
this. Yeah. And I hope everyone who came to at least one of these streams had a good time. And I hope that you... Yeah, go ahead.
I also was really enjoying hearing about Aaron's OC.
Aaron has carried this OC through all of the Dragon Age games.
Well, so my Star Wars roleplay line, I started off with Kailana, who's also the same race as Althea.
Oh, not all of them? Okay, my bad.
Oh, as Althea, but Kailana came first, and then her daughter Naomi came next, and then Naomi met up with Althea, and Althea trained Naomi, and then it's like, during the training she was like 10, 11, okay, so she was a kid, so Althea was obviously my main character, and Naomi's like my secondary character. And then we go into The Mandalorian, where Naomi's older and she's the main character. So I've carried my characters, children's, and then like this is same race through the Star Wars line. I even have a secondary character I'm trying to like build, who's like a separate class from the same race, who's also like 1,000 years old. It's great. It's good. Good times. Good times. And then
Yes.
I killed my warden.
I killed my warden too.
Dear Lord.
I mean, you have to. Your choices are, you either kill your warden, or you have 3 choices. You kill your warden, You let your you let Morrigan boink.
Boink? Who says that?
What's his face and have a demon baby. Or Morrigan kills the
Dear Lord.
the dragon.
You know what
And
I really want to do?
Yeah.
I really want to get you and Aaron, Whitney and I, to see how dark our OCs actually are. I want a competition to know whose OC is the darkest. Anyway.
I know the archdemon goes into the baby, but what's the third choice? The choice 1 is you kill it. Choice 2 is Morrigan and Alistair have a demon baby. And there's a third choice.
Oh god, Alistair?
And I can't remember what choice number 3 is. Because Alistair, I don't think... Oh, okay. I never picked that. I never let Alistair kill the archdemon.
What Dragon Age is that one from?
The first one.
Ah, okay.
I never, ever let Alistair kill the archdemon. It's either me or Morrigan has the demon baby, and that's it.
Morrigan has the demon baby. Oh my
Alistair
gosh.
has to live.
Dear Lord. Tell me you love Alistair without telling me you love Alistair.
Well, I love Alistair. So, there you go. I've told you. All right. Well, this is the end of stream. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Damn.
Next. Yep.
Probably the one OC stream I'll actually probably finish.
Oh. Well.
Aren't you excited?
Mel, make sure I didn't mess up the schedule, but I believe that next week we have on tap the top 10 most influential anime.
That is correct.
Cool. So, just as a pretext for everyone, this is super, this is going to be very opinionated. This topic I took from an article that I found one day, and I disagreed with about 6 of the mentions in this article. And so I felt like I wanted to talk about it. It would make a good stream. And so I'll run down the choices that were in there, and then we will discuss. Maybe we'll make our own top 10 lists. I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet.
I know.
So come back next week for that.
Man, I'm still drawing though. Okay, anyway. I guess I'll just... okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us on our last installment of How Fleshed Out is Your Original Character. I hope the questionnaire at least helped to fill in gaps of your original character, or whether or not you actually made a well-rounded original character. There was a lot to go through with that, but it was a lot of fun, and even gave me ideas to use for my original character, so I know it helped me a lot. So I hope that helped you a lot too. Yeah, so we will be back next week. Oh my god, back-to-back streams. What a twist!
Wow!
And we will talk about the top 10 most influential anime that has been listed as such. And then Jesse and I will talk about what else to add on, whether or not we give our top 10 or we discuss why the top 10 shouldn't be the top 10. We'll figure it out. It'll be a surprise for you guys, so definitely come back next Saturday.
Might be a surprise for us.
Shit, right? I will say that the week after... next week, I will be 3 back-to-back events. So April 1st and 2nd, I will be at Madera Community College for Anime Gathering. It is a small pop-up event that happens at the college. This is the 2nd year it's going. And And it's super close to all my Madeira friends, so that's even nicer. April 3rd, I will be at Fresno City College for their spring vendor fair. They had to postpone it due to the weather. It's technically the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but because I have an event the 1st and 2nd, I will only be there on the 3rd, which is the Wednesday. And then April 5th, Whitney and I will be going to Surf City Con and Capitola, which is just south of Santa Cruz. And I'm very happy about that one. That one I was actually invited to apply, so I was very ecstatic to know that I got accepted and everything, so I will be there. And then the week after, on Tuesday and Wednesday, I will be at Reedley Community College for their small pop-up event, Safari Days. So look forward to all of those updates. I will be posting that particular convention schedule in the next coming days, so look for that on Facebook and Instagram. If you're not already following me, it's Facebook and Instagram at Melslog. I post all the updates about where I will be in the wild, and along with videos on how to find my booth at these events. And I post artwork there as well and various other things. So you should definitely follow me, just if for nothing else, to get updates on Panel Protagonist streams or where I will be in the wild. Now, if you should join the Discord server Confab Corner, because it's technically our Panel Protagonist Discord server, but we've changed it so that we can just chill. It's a nice little hangout session. That's where you're going to get all of the quick updates, including art. I usually drop my art almost immediately after finishing said art, and then it usually goes up to other social media about 3 to 4 days later because I'm lazy. And but there's other things you can do in there. I do live doodle times where you could come and actually chat with me while doodling. You could even doodle with me. We have watch parties where Jesse hosts, as it says, you watch stuff, and it's fun.
Anime right now.
Yeah. We also do game nights where we all just either chill and hang out and play a game, or we all play a game together. Those are always fun. And yeah, there's interactive chats and bot games. There's a lot to do in the Discord Confab Corner, including morning greetings so that you know that you're always loved and wanted. And yeah, okay, well, that was my outro. I'm surprised I got that far without stumbling too much. And now I'm tired. So we will see you all next Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same place. And Jesse, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Panel Protagonists out! Bye!
Goodbye, everyone.